sixth thing is liabilities versus assets. A liability is something that you acquire that requires constant spending of money to maintain. An asset is something you obtain that multiplies the money invested. So when we're talking about money, now we're learning about liabilities and assets. Like, a lot of us, where we place our money are in liabilities, and we need to be placing our money in assets. Look, if you take for the next 10 years and you really understand what an asset is, and you start, placing your money in assets, you're going to be financially independent, and you're going to, and one won't be a rich person. It just works. Is that simple? An example of a liability is your car. You buy a car, when you take it out of the lot, especially if it's brand new, you lose 10-20% of the value immediately. Plus, it's going to be, requiring you to put money into it in gas, in maintenance, and if it breaks down. So at the end, you place a lot more money into the car than, it's worth, and that's what a liability is. An asset is real estate. You take real estate, you put money into real estate, you buy a property, you get a good deal because you learn how to, use all the strategies to get, under market value, or let's just say you got it for sale, like we have today in the American market, and you rent it out. You're making $100-$200 free money out of that property. Your tenant is paying off that property, so whatever principal you have, let's say you have $50,000 in principal, he's paying it off for you. You're not paying it for yourself. 10, 20 years from now, it'll be paid off if you do it correctly, and you're going to have a lot of equity because properties, the truth is that in the past 100 years, properties are going to keep on going up. We're just in a cycle right now, but in the future, because there's population is growing, et cetera, statistically you're going to see growth. People are going to want to buy properties, and properties are going to go up. Maybe not as crazy as they did before, but they're going to keep on going up. So you had a passive cash flow, money coming in through the mail every month, plus real estate. It's always going to be worth something. It's always going to be there. And people are always going to need it. There's no more land that is being built, and so that's why real estate makes sense. That's why it's a great asset. Business owners and investors create opportunities and invest in ventures that become assets. The greatest asset you have is your brain, and that's something that we have to understand. Time is your most important asset, but the another great asset that you have is your brain. A lot of people don't understand that. Before you can, invest in real estate, you need to invest in yourself. That's the number one thing that you need to learn. Invest in yourself. Don't go out there doing things just because you read them in the internet, from somebody who gave you a 1, 2, 3. Educate yourself. Invest in yourself. Lift up. A lot of people just waste their brains. They put so much crap in their brains and don't understand that what you put in is what's going to come out. And so, understanding what liabilities and assets are, and understanding that the greatest asset, the first asset you have, is going to be yourself. Is going to be inside of you. A lot of people don't. A lot of people that are successful might not have formal degrees, but they are very educated. And that's going to be the next point I'm going to be talking about. Many people fill their brains with trash instead of investing in themselves. My goal is for the residual income of my assets to sustain the level of lifestyle that I have always dreamed. And so, again, that's my personal goal. I'm just letting you know, because that's what I want to reach. That my residual income, meaning the money that is coming out of my investments, that's what allows me to live the lifestyle that I always dreamed of. And so, again, that's going to happen by investing in the right assets and lifting up in my life more assets than the liabilities. Again, can you not live without liabilities? No. Things are always going to be there that are going to be liabilities. But if you have more assets than liabilities, then you're going to be wealthy. Throw your hands in the sky. Throw your hands in the sky.